Hey, it's Zach here. If you haven't been following it or you haven't heard yet, there's been a very strange attack in Miami, Florida. There was someone who was attacked by someone and they started eating them. Police intervened and shot and killed the attacker. I'm not going to try and give all the details of the event because you can find it in the description. There's a link to a news story. You could search Miami zombie attack or anything similar in terms of search criteria, and you'll get hundreds, if not thousands, of hits for this story. It's kind of blowing up. People are calling it a zombie attack because the guy took a lot of bullets before going down, and he just kept eating the guy's face. And the guy who was being attacked has survived. He's in hospital. And I just kind of wanted to give some of the other sides to this that not many people are hearing. I see this story being passed around on Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. But yeah, there's other things that some people might not be aware of. So the first thing would be that they're talking about possible drug influences of this. And while I don't have an opinion on this, I haven't looked into it in that much detail. The idea of it being LSD is a little ridiculous because that doesn't, unless it is something new about it, it doesn't have the effects you'd see of someone taking bullets and still continuing to do what they were doing in a psychotic state or a psychosis state. Perhaps it is. The most realistic thing I've seen people talking about is PCP. The guy would be on that. But yeah, there's other possibilities. People are talking about vaccine kind of thing. That's kind of more the conspiratorial type community talking about that. Health conspiracy community. In time, we're going to see where this goes. There's probably going to be some sort of analysis on the guy's body. If there's other incidents of this, because people are actually starting to talk about it being a zombie apocalypse type scenario, which might seem far-fetched until you consider that this happened almost in an identical way 1 month earlier. So back in mid-April, there was actually the same thing that happened in Miami, and that's the second link below. So the first link is going to be just the regular story. The second link is the story about this happening to a guy, I believe it was April 17th. And this guy was also killed by the police, but he was actually killed and beaten, or killed by the stun gun, or shocked by a stun gun, and then died, I guess, on the way to the hospital. So he's shocked and beaten. And he was attacking a guy who was trying to bite him. I don't think he got as far, but he's stripped naked just like the other guy. So there's definite similarities. It's in the same vicinity in Miami. There's something really fishy going on. So that's, I think, why it is pretty concerning, not just like a one-off random psychotic guy. In the main story where there was a horrific amount of damage done to the victim. The other thing I wanted to talk about, or actually just provide you guys if you want to check it out, is you can click here to a link, and it's also in the drop-down menu below, to a video of one of the witnesses. Not many people have seen this either. It's a video up on with the witness talking about who first saw the attack and went and got the police. So it's kind of disturbing to see, just like imagine yourself in his shoes, someone seeing that, you'd have that imprinted in your consciousness for a very long time. Wouldn't be something I'd want to see, that's for sure. And the fourth link, which is going to be sort of the main purpose of this video, to get it out there. I was debating whether I'd want to show this or not, but this is definitely a not safe for work kind of thing, and I'm going to give, full caution as to whether you look at this link or not, but it's good for people to see if you want to know the horrific nature of this. And I'm definitely not someone who's into what this site, it's featured on the site, that's a bit of a disturbing site. I'm not a fan of this site by any means, but I think in this scenario it's actually providing something that other sites aren't willing to post, which is the image of the guy who was attacked, the results on his face. If you want to see what this guy did to his face, it's kind of a wake-up call to what's possible out there. And the horrific nature that people can go to. In our society today, we see very little of these kinds of things happening, or they happen here and there, but we never see the results of them. And while I don't think it's good to, on a regular basis, take in these kinds of images, just because of the effect it has on your consciousness, it's a very disturbing thing to see. But I think being able to see it and recognize it in these types of scenarios when they're actually serious, as opposed to like looking at this stuff for entertainment, which is kind of what the site is about. Yeah, it's a wake-up call, and it really makes you look at your own life, what you're doing in your life, and it can also be a motivating factor for making sure that you're safe in your life. Are you safe in the area you live? Is it time you moved out of one of these big cities? If you live in a major city in the U.S. or anywhere else in the world that, weird stuff like this goes on. You don't really hear about this kind of stuff happening outside of major cities. Yes, there's stuff that goes on. I'm not saying be blind to that. But, maybe you're getting into life and you might plan on having a family, or you want to settle down, or whatever it is you're doing. In the long run, you want to plan for these things, and do you really want to be in an area where this kind of stuff goes on? The other thing is, do you have plans for if you were ever in a scenario like this? And that's when something like self-defense, self-reliance, and being able to sustain and protect and survive in the world, sustain and protect yourself and survive in the world, those are important skills to have. And that's largely what some of the topics that I'm getting more into on my main channel on Secrets of Longevity. You can check out my main channel here. And actually just the previous video on this channel kind of dealt with that, the self-defense ideas. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. So by the way, that fourth link, if you are wanting to see this very disturbing picture of the things that happened to this victim in this crime, check it out. But don't say I didn't warn you, because I was debating whether I'd actually look at it myself, but I took a quick glance. You have to scroll down on the page. I highly recommend not going to anywhere else on the website. It's a very disturbing website. But yeah, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this whole thing. What do you think is going on here? These things are going to develop over time. We're going to know more when the guy in the hospital recovers. He's obviously going to need some pretty intense facial reconstructive surgery. So it's not going to be video interviews anytime soon with him. But we're going to start hearing some things about this as things develop, I'm sure. Perhaps there'll be more cases like this. Let's hope not. Let's hope it's not a zombie apocalypse, as ridiculous as that is. But you never know what's going to come from something like this. It is fishy that there's two very identical things that have happened in the same general area. So yeah, subscribe, like and favorite the video, and pass this around as well. Share it. And with that, I'll talk to you guys later.